how did you stay inspired and make some of your best music?
Ooh, I don't know.
That's actually a good answer. I don't know.
Well, it's just that and we'll get into all this, I guess, but
Yeah.
like I had taken a long break, like a several year break from DJing and producing, and so
Mhm.
I just got back into it a few years ago, and so I feel like I just had all this like pent up creative energy that just like
Yeah.
needed to come out. So
Hmm.
I was just like, and it was just all kind of new to me again, and I think I was just having that like newness to it as well kind of helped, and being like, "Oh, I wanna make a track with this sound in it, and let me try this thing," and I just, like, constantly was just trying different things, and
Yeah.
yeah, so it was just had a lot of ideas that just needed to come out?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's like when you're producing sometimes music or samples or loops go in the graveyard, you kind of put them in the back of your head and then you dug them up and you're ready to
Yeah.
unlock the dead.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
I
so
love that. That's awesome. So I know you mentioned before we got on air, you're a raver from the 90s from the East Coast, from the
yeah.
north side of Jersey.
Yep, yeah,
Tell me
I
about that. Where what city were you exactly born in?
I was born in Western New Jersey,
Okay.
but I grew up in Washington Township, New Jersey, which is, like, really just next door.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and then, I grew up 30 minutes outside of Manhattan, outside of the city,
Hmm.
and so, I started going out to, like, local punk shows when I was in junior high, and, like, I'd
Nice.
always really like, loved music ever since, like, I could, like, go through my parents' record collection? And so I just wanted to discover, like, every type of, like, genre of music, like, everything. I was just so like, "What's this? What's this?" Just trying to, like, consume it all.
Hmm.
And so, yeah, I ended up, like, getting into, like, punk rock in junior high and going out to local shows then, and then that kind of, like, evolved into going out to raves? And,
Classic. Was it a
so
similar crew that you were rolling with to both?
yeah, I mean, it was kinda like there's definitely, like, a group of people that kind of evolved, and I think it was also, like, this, like, 90s, like, skate culture and punk
Oh yeah.
culture, and then it kind of, went to, like, rave culture and that sort of thing, and so, we just went out. I went out way too young to be going out at, like, 15 or something.
Sounds like you had cool parents though. If they had a whole record collection, they let you do whatever you want.
Well, they probably didn't know about the raving so much,
Oh,
but
sorry, it's come out now. I
no,
think
it's
that they
okay, my
don't.
mom knows now, but, yeah, so I was going out, and then, so I just got into electronic music, and when I first heard any sort of, like, I can't even remember, it kinda went from, like, punk, almost like industrial, which was kind of like this in between. It started getting in, like, electronic, and
Yeah.
then into, like, I think one of the first I can't even remember, like, one of the first CDs that I had, but it was definitely there was some jungle CD that I remember having. It was
Mhm.
Liquid Sky, which was just like
Yeah.
this do you remember them?
I think I do actually. Yeah, it's ringing a bell.
Yeah, they were, out of New York, I believe, but they had this, like, Jungle Sky compilation,
Nice.
and so got into, like, jungle, and then there was just, like, this early '90s, like, rave, like, compilation CD or something, had, like, Joey Beltram, Energy Flash on it.
Mhm.
Yeah, and so, yeah, so I started just listening to it and then went out to some raves, and then, um, like, my friend's boyfriend had a pair of Geminis, and he had, like, a house party, and so I was just, like, watching him DJ, and I was just like, "What is this? I need to do
Yeah.
this?"
Yeah.
And so I ended up buying his Gemini turntables off
Those
of him.
turntables that you were looking at?
Yeah, because he upgraded to Technics. So,
Nice.
yeah, so he just sold them to me and, like, gave me some records and kinda, like, gave me a little bit of, like, some tips on what to do, but, back then, it was just kinda like, "Alright, here you go, like, figure it out." You know?
Wow.
So I started off, yeah, on these, like, Gemini turntables that, like, trying to beat match on those things was, like, nearly impossible.
I would
But
say
if
it is
you did it,
impossible,
you're
yeah.
like, you could beat match on anything?
Yeah.
So, yeah, so I started that's kinda how I got into it.
What records were you playing at that point then?
Oh, geez. I think when I first got that pair of turntables, I
Yeah.
was just like basically whatever records I can get my hands on because it was
Yeah.
like he gave me some. I think there was like a local record shop in like one of the towns nearby, but then I'd have to like go into the city and actually buy records at a record
Hmm.
shop. And that was, again, I was in high school. It was like hard to go off and do that with
Yeah.
parents and stuff. And then eventually it was like I was buying like records like off the internet, like mail order sort of thing,
Wow.
like from the UK. Because I actually
Yeah.
started off playing happy hardcore. That was actually the first style of music. Yes. That was the first style of music I started DJing. And then I transitioned over to drum and bass in like the early 2000s. So
Wow.
Man, do I love Sherm in the booth. Oh, hey, I think you do too. Hope you enjoyed that piece of content. If you're looking for more, make sure to go to my YouTube channel and hit that subscribe button and turn on all notifications so you don't miss any upcoming Sherm in the Booth interviews, live sets, new music, exclusive artist interviews, Sherm's Word, sub pack reviews, and more. This is your one-stop shop for everything entertainment. Cheers.